let's talk about some of the divisions that have the most, I don't know if controversy is the right word, but certainly the most variance of opinion. Let's talk about the NFC North, which we did earlier on the show. And I sort of took the position, Drew Dinsick, our guest, did as well. The Green Bay Packers slander. I'm kind of like, I don't know that Jordan Love is as bad as people are assuming he is. What's your instinct on a team like that? What's your instinct on that division?
Well, he's unproven, right? So I think the notion or the automatic opinion would be that, oh, he's not that good. He's not that good. I mean, he couldn't unseat Aaron Rodgers. Well, nobody could, really. I mean, Aaron Rodgers couldn't unseat Brett Favre until Brett got out of there. So it's a wait-and-see approach on how good Jordan Love's going to be or could be. I think Green Bay, for all their issues, I don't know if it was targeted just on one player, which would be Aaron Rodgers. I think LaFleur has something to do with it too. I hope LaFleur can help Jordan Love become a great quarterback, to be honest with you. But it's going to take at least 20 to 24 games to find out if this guy's even a franchise quarterback. I mean, is he a starter? Is he a capable starter? Probably. But is he a franchise quarterback? That's the biggest question. And that's the determination for me in terms of how great Green Bay could be. I mean, I'm looking at the Lions, for instance, from a future standpoint. They're in the top 10 when you look at the teams that could, from an odds standpoint, right, Gill, and a top 10 situation for the Lions in which, okay, their odds are the best that they could win a Super Bowl. I mean, I think the market or people have the opinion that the Lions really could dominate that division out there.
You do not necessarily share that, though. Like if I had said to you right now, give me 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that division, how does it stack out to you?
I mean, I think it's going to be highly competitive. I don't know if anybody's going to run away with that. I think it's going to be one of those teams that gets hot. The Lions, they're capable of getting hot. Believe it. Yeah. So I'd go 1 Lions, 2. It gets very, very interesting because the Bears could surprise a lot of people because of how young they are, and we always are a constant reminder that the NFL is a young man's game because you take leaps. You leaps forward when you're a young team and you get better as opposed to a veteran team like the Vikings and you're looking to improve. I think the Vikings are going through a transition, but yet they're still talented enough, right? And then what we just talked about with the Green Bay Packers. So I wouldn't be surprised to put the Bears at number 2 in that division, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I just back to the Jordan Love thing for a second because I'm just sort of thinking out loud. But it's like when we used to do baseball projections to the next year for season win totals, one of the things Joe Pita was great at doing this back in the day, which is what you're doing is if they got this big free agent signing at second base, this big marquee name, what you're replacing is the production of the previous second base player or combined players, whatever that production was for that position. And I used to say this in football. When the Vikings signed Kirk Cousins for the 2018 season, there was this big thing, oh my God, they're going to be so great. They're going to be so great. And I would point out and be like, yeah, but what you're doing is you're replacing Case Keenum's 2017 production. And Case Keenum had this monster year in 2017. So yes, over the arc of Kirk Cousins' contract, maybe you're better off with him than Case Keenum. You probably are. But from a year-to-year thing with a season win total bet assessment, that's what you're actually doing. And I would say the same thing with Jordan Love, which is I'm not saying Jordan Love's going to be Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers last season wasn't the Aaron Rodgers that people think of when they're making a season win total assessment on the Packers, right? You're replacing his last year's production. That's not as dramatic as most people make it out to be.
Right. And great points right there, Gil. I mean, I think, to bring it back into the locker room and on the field, I mean, Aaron Rodgers was on his own page. Aaron Rodgers was doing what he wanted to do in the course of a play. It didn't work out because those young pups didn't understand Aaron Rodgers, the nuances and all that. Now that they are working together, and this is why I think it falls on LaFleur, because he's going to have to orchestrate all this. He's going to have to make sure that the plays are executed the way that they should be executed, right? And he's going to have to coach and harp on Jordan Love to make sure that this scheme is working. Like I'll gravitate towards, a Josh McDaniels in which that scheme has been proven over and over again. And look what he did with the Raiders offense, a whole lot of different parts, right? But yet that was almost a top 10 offense last year. So, to me, LaFleur is the guy that you have to focus in on as a better, more so than the upside of Jordan Love. There's going to be upside. We know that. To what degree, we just don't know that yet.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.